Some years ago, I wrote a book, Biblical Womanhood, calling forth girls into womanhood. The essence of this book is the following, and I'm reading from page 7 of the book. I believe that the tragedy of lack of fathers is to blame for failure in discovering, mining, and polishing womanhood. We have many women who are still operating as girls rather than women. The father has an obligation to usher his daughter into womanhood. He needs to know how to call her into womanhood. And I'm reading this because when I wrote this book, I did not have the statistics that I now have of the number of single women and single mothers we have in Kenya, in the tune of 5 million. So my question is, when the fathers are absent, when we have half of the households in Kenya being led by women, what of the fathers is missing in the girl child and what of the father is missing in the boy child? One of the key things is that the father is the most neutral person who can tell a girl that you are no longer a girl, but you're a woman, you're a grown woman. You have transitioned from girlhood to womanhood, because a lot of men have vested interests. So the person who ought to not have that subjective interest in the woman is a father. He needs to notice the changes that have taken place in the girl and affirm her in her new state as a woman. It not only settles her, it also protects her and it guards her, and it satisfies a certain need in her for affirmation from other men. Because the moment she doesn't get that, there is a danger of attracting men who have also not transitioned into manhood. So this book, I'm going to revise it, but it has a lot of gems. It's a small book. Actually, one time, one of my spiritual daughters, that's Africana in South Africa, said we need to do a tour talking about this. It discusses the wells of womanhood. It compares the woman as a helpmeet. The Holy Spirit is a helpmeet, but they together share that role. It discusses the insecurities of grown women, because womanhood has got to do with being sacrificial. Girlhood is selfish. Womanhood is sacrificial. So it compares and contrasts the girl and the woman. And it discusses how the choices of a girl are different from the choices of a grown woman. So it also discusses how and when one transitions from girlhood to womanhood. It's not so much the age, because as I said, there are some grown women who still have tendencies of girls. They are very selfish. They are not sacrificial. So it discusses how to know whether you are now operating as a woman or as a girl. So I will revise this book. I think I wrote it in the 2017 or 2016. I don't remember when, but it is one of the books that is relevant to what we have been discussing about the crisis of single mothers. And I'm also going to be busy writing one on the issue of fatherhood, because we cannot address the issue of biblical womanhood without addressing the issue of fatherhood. So it's a very good book, and I think those in Kenya can get it. Those in Aussie, I'm sure we can make a plan. Don't know whether it's still in Amazon. I will need to check those who need to get it in Amazon. But a very relevant book, and it's the only book that my late mother wrote the foreword for. She was quite an example. Actually, the 6 women in my life have written forwards in this book. My late mother, my wife, my stepdaughter, my one and only biological daughter, and my mother-in-law, and my sister, my one and only sister. These people have written forwards in this book. So I will revise it, but before I revise it, just the way it is, even without the statistics that we have been looking at of single mothers, do ask for a copy. It has a picture of my two daughters. A lovely, lovely book that we need to get to transition women from girlhood to womanhood. It's all in the quest of fixing this issue of the crisis of single mothers. It concerns me that there are no fathers to transition these girls into womanhood. That's a bigger crisis. It's a bigger thing in my heart. The Lord bless you. This is Simon Karaoke coming to you from Melbourne, Australia. Bye-bye.